What's up, everyone? Another back with another Factorio video. You probably thought, there's no way. Well, this happens a lot on my channel, actually, so maybe you did. You're like, he's just gone for a little while. We'll be back. And I am back. I got a couple new games I want to play, but then I was like, well, dude, you didn't finish this one. You didn't finish Factorio. You gotta finish this. Don't leave people hanging, man. Not sure how many of you are actually continuously watching this series. It's kind of getting long now, actually. I do like to close my series up before this point in time. But we're going to continue. We're going to finish. I'm going to finish what I started. Now, number 2, I think in the future I might just do new games for like 10 episodes. Or 5 or something like that. Because there's a big drop-off with Let's Plays, and Let's Plays are kind of dead anyway. Let me know what you think in the comment section about that. And then if there's enough likes, I'll keep going. But if there's not, I'm going to do something else probably. I might continue to play it on my own. We'll see. But I don't know. Just got to change up what I'm doing. What have I been doing? We'll get into that in a little bit. What are we doing today? We need to fix Gleba. Okay, so I've been working Gleba. If we go over here, like off camera, I worked this whole tree. Basically, this whole area is good. Same with over here. I have this stuff all built up now. And plenty of fruit coming out. And the problem is not that I'm not harvesting enough now. So that is not the problem anymore. Harvesting plenty. And I'm thinking, well, what's Gleba about? So I want to be able to leave. I want to go do something else. In fact, if you look at Volcanus at this point, there is no titanium coming in. It's titanium? Is that what this is? Luckily, there's still some over here. No, seriously, what is this? Tungsten. The tungsten source is gone, and I need to... What I decided was I'm going to go get this one. Like, it's 5 million, right? We got another... Oh, that's small. 5 million here. That's a great spot to go get more. And then that's actually next to this 17 million calcite. So this would be a great spot to go after. But I can't... I got to leave this island. I have to leave this planet first. So I'm like, okay, and I need to have it self-manage, and right now it's not. The problem it's having is it's building up too much stuff. It's just continuously running, right? And to make it not run out of fruits, I'm overproducing those fruits. And so it's building up and building up and building up and building up. Now, most of it will deteriorate into, you know, this crap, whatever this is. It's been so long since I played, I don't even remember what this is called. Spoilage, right? But what won't spoil? Seeds. So the real problem you get on Gleba is a pileup of seeds. So we're going to solve that today. Another thing you get is basically I'm overproducing because I'm telling it produce all the time so you don't run out. And so it's constantly feeding stuff into these receivers like this guy right here, let's say, right? Even if I don't need iron. Because if you look over here, I don't need iron. It's full. I don't need any iron, right? Well, no, actually, it's not very full. It's not full. But there are cases where it is. That just made me a liar. But there are cases where I don't need any of this stuff. So we just get spoilage for no reason. And I have to keep this thing going. Well, there's a better way to do this. And I did this off camera. And it worked. And so I'm going to do it right now. So the first thing we're going to do, though, is I noticed that on Novice, my calcite build over here is jacked up. And I want to expand over here and do some more stuff, but I can't because Gleba cannot self-sustain, so I really need to fix this stuff. So if you look at this calcite right here, actually we'll start up here at tungsten. It looks funky. It's going out that way and that way. Why is it doing that? Well, one, these requester chests this is where it's actually coming in, and it's coming in from the pad right here, right? And so what this is doing is providing it to trains and also providing it to these buffer chests where I can have other builds requests from these buffer chests, right? So that's kind of what we're seeing here. This is built correctly. A train can come in and pick something up, and these guys also are getting what they need, right? These buffer chests. But right here, it's not, right? These are turned the wrong direction. So you can see it's unloaded crap into here that I don't want. So this is the train that's actually for cliff explosives. So it's just trying to pick up some calcite right here, and obviously it can't. Now, what I can do, luckily, because these are all actually fixed to where they can only get one thing, which kind of helps our system from getting itself messed up, and these trains are always constantly messed up, is I can just turn these around, and it'll unload the garbage back. Well, for this system, it's garbage. For this train, it's not. It needs all these things. So it can load that stuff back out and get it out of my calcite system, right? Oops. There we go. And because it's only let unload the amount that was already on the train, it clears itself out. You can see I got lucky kind of right here. It hasn't went through multiple cycles, right? Because it didn't work at all. So it just got here and stopped and hasn't worked ever. So that's all good. Now we just have to flip these. This guy's going to load calcite, a whole train load full of it. We're at very quickly. Now we're pulling in more calcite because we're pulling it out of the system, as you can see right there. And this will actually start working again. And it should just kick off when this is done here. And this is fixed. You can see that we're unloading from space. That's great. And now something can go back and forth and do its thing. There we go. Fixed. So I'm going to put fixed right there. Boom. Fixed. The next thing we have up is fixed assembler issue that is local. This assembler down here is putting in the wrong metal. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's not steel. I think we need to... It's... Oh, that's fine. That should be iron. And this is iron. But this... it's putting in something... Something's wrong. What is it? It's putting in the wrong thing. It's requesting steel, but it's not getting any steel. Oh, did I already fix this and save it? I already did, because we weren't getting any of these tier 3s, so I guess I fixed that already off camera. But I think this was requesting iron, and so obviously it could never make any tier 2s, right? It was broken. So let's see. Let's see. What else do I need to do? I need to... Now it's time to fix the way I'm requesting this system to run. Instead of just having it run out of control constantly, and what happens is the iron builds up, everything builds up, and then everything just starts spoiling. And what's going to eventually happen is this logistics buffer I have here is going to overfill. I actually tried to like make more buffer chests, and then I was like, storage chests, and it just kept filling up, right? It's never going to stop, and it's going to overfill, right? It's going to overproduce over time. So instead, what I need to do is, and I didn't even know you could do this. I just kind of happened on it. I was like, oh my God, this is like a game changer. Is we go in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to set trees to only work when we need jelly. How do we do that? We say we want to go to the logistic network here, connect to it, and say only do this when this kind of fruit... Is it jelly nut? Yeah, jelly nut, right? Only enable when jelly nut is less than, I don't know, I think at 1500 was what I worked out that is a good number. So keep working, because clearly we're under 1500, right? 1500 seems really high. You're like, wow, 1500, John? We go through 1500 really fast, and so it's about right. What you want to do is keep checking to make sure that that's correct. Let's get that setting. Let's copy that. Oh, can't reach. Let's copy that, and we'll set it over here as well. So this guy will also stop. Oh, he won't. Okay. Should I now try it? Did that work? That's weird. And I shouldn't have to run all the way over there to copy this. I should just be able to go like that, and it copies. I'm doing a shift right click and a shift left click. I think that's... Is it not? Oh, well, I'm just going to set these manually then, I guess. All right, we'll do it again, I guess. It's crazy we have to do this twice, but okay. I thought we would set that way. Okay, so let's go over here and do the same thing. These are obviously the opposite kinds, so we'll do that, right? We're going to network. Yes, connect to it. Yep, do that. And when it's less than 1500, please go. So what this will do is when it's over 1500, this thing just stops harvesting. It just stops. And then when it's under 1500, it knocks down all the trees that are mature, which usually is a lot at that point, right? And it's good to go. So the next problem we have is these seeds, right? We have a problem with seeds. They're building up. There's a ton of seeds here. As you can see, I don't mind keeping these. That's fine. And we can just do 4 seeds is, again, just fine. I think that's fine. It's not going to build up too much. The problem we're going to have is how do we get rid of seeds? So I looked it up. There is a way to get rid of seeds. It works really nicely. Is we can burn them, right? So if you go over here... Oh my God, can I actually get there? Another thing we need to figure out is... Oh wait, we don't want to set it as fruit. It's not 1500 fruit in the system. It's what this thing makes, not the fruit. So this makes jelly. When jelly is less than 1500, work, right? Not the stupid fruits. I don't care if the fruits are... I want... What's the product I care about? The jelly is what I care about. So when the jelly... And same thing with this guy. This is the mash, though. When the mash is below 1500, do something. And when it's not, you know, don't do anything. We're cool with that. Okay, there we go. 1500. Nice. It's going to still work. So now what we're going to do is collect it. Now that's going to keep the fruit over here from piling up. That's going to keep this from getting out of control. Right? This is fine. This is a fine amount. What happens is this stuff, if it's not being used, it will deteriorate. And so that's going to always kind of have to... We're always going to have to work on that, right? But one thing we can also say, same thing here. I don't need to use this unless... I think it's this. No, because I want to make sure that I don't get any of this unless it's below a certain amount. So I did it. Okay, so we already fixed the trees. Set the trees to only work when needing jelly. Set requester chest to only work when inventory needed. So the way that works, and I don't remember how I did this because I didn't write it down. All right, I've gone through a few iterations of how I can get this to work. So there's no way to get that I can find, at least. Put it in the comment section if you know a better way to get the system to work where the requester chest will never have anything in it if you don't want to build the item. Okay, so if you take the system right here, for example, I'm saying, hey, when rocket fuel's below 500, enable the machine so that it'll produce rocket fuel. Okay, obviously, clearly we're below 500, and we'll fix that in a second. This thinks we have none in the system, which is not true. We have like 3,000 or 4,000. But anyway, what I've found to do now, one way to do this is to read the working conditions, right? So that if this thing is on, it will send a signal, and you can say, hey, it's on, go get me stuff. The problem is with read working is if you look right now, it's off. It's only working when it has enough ingredients. So I thought there'd be a separate condition, not just is it actually building something, but is the machine turned on or off? Because this is enable, disable the machine, right? So I figured that would be a separate signal, but apparently it's not. So what we're going to do is do it a slightly different way. What we're going to say over here is, first we're going to turn on this. We're going to say read the contents, fuel and ingredients. And then we're going to come over here and say, set the request. Don't, just forget this thing, actually. Let's actually kill this and then put another one in there. Let's redo this. So we'll just do this like this. Reset requirements, or set requests, you're done. That's it. The whole thing is done. Trash unrequested. So what this is going to do... Oh, see, it's not requesting fuel right now, and it has no fuel. It should request fuel, because it says including fuel. Okay, so now let's go make the... So, requester chest, when you put something in a requester chest, it takes that out of the logistics network. And that's why this thing thinks we have no fuel in the system, right? Because it's all in requester chest. So, if I put this to buffer, it won't treat this as a storage. Like, this guy won't pull directly from that. I actually had a problem with that. But it does put that we have that in the system. Now you can see, okay, it's off, right? Disabled by control behavior. So what that does is disable this right here. It will not pull more of this stuff, but it will always pull nutrients because apparently it's just not doing it right. I guess it's looking at what you have in there, and so it requests what you already have, but if you burn through your nutrients, then it doesn't have anything. So yeah, see, it's just reading, so we don't need any of this, actually. We just need this. That's all we need. We don't want to know what's in there. Don't request what's in there, because it was going to request spoilage. Well, we don't want spoilage in there. So this is a little more complicated than I thought it would be. I'm not really sure why it won't just request the fuel that you need. All right, that is set up. That's the way it needs to be. Unfortunately, it's two different things. It's a little bit more complicated than I wanted it to be. Now, what we can do is set these guys, right? These guys are consuming a lot. And I already actually set these. And now... No, they're not set. They're just not producing for some reason. Ew, it's trying to get 100, but it can't? Why not? Is this thing turned off for some reason? Where are we here? Oh, this is set to fruits, jellies. We already have a lot of jelly. So it's saying, hey, calm down. We have tons of jelly here, guys. We don't need to do anything. Which means it turned these guys off. So there's no fruit coming in. That actually kind of fixes itself. This also should be turned off. None of these things should be making fruit. Who's creating fruit? Oh, no. It's the other way around. They have plenty of green jelly, and so these guys should not be finding any... this should be basically non-existent after a while. See, it can't find any now. It wants it, but it's used up. So this kind of already is solving itself. If we just say, hey, stop producing if jelly is higher than 1500, then this will stop too. I mean, this will just stop because there's no more fruit. That's kind of easy. I guess we don't have to do that. There's no more fruit, this will stop. So there's some lag there. And that's why I set it to 1500 on the trees, because when you do get low on jelly, there's going to be some time to get the actual, first to harvest, right? Then to get those harvested fruits over to this, so it can process the harvested fruits and get it back into the logistical system, right? So it will take some time. I think this is fine. I think this is already kind of controlling itself. I don't think I need to do anything here. We can just let it do whatever it wants to do. Because again, it's managing itself because it says, hey, if there's enough mash, stop doing stuff. Right? This is almost enough. Now it has started, since mash dropped below 1500, it has started to harvest again. And that means fruits are going to become available. As you can see, they're flying over. And then they're going to be emptied into here, the requester chest, right? This is actually going to fill it. It has enough. So then it'll mash it, and the cycle starts all over again. So we're good there. These guys have solved themselves. Now, let's do the same thing with these, right? We're going to say, look, we need to know how many of these guys are in the system. How many of these... I don't remember where these are. Right here. Here we go. What is this thing? Artificial jelly nut soil? How many of these are in the system? When it's only work if it's less than... I want to say I want 200 of these. Right? So, item ingredient shortage. That's because I've turned this off. Right? I totally disabled this thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that off. We're going to put nutrients here. Always 10. Remember, we always want 10. And then what we're going to do is connect this thing with the circuit. If I know what I'm doing, this will work. If I didn't, well, I might not know what I'm doing. Read contents, right? We need to set requests. So what we're going to say is send this thing the ingredients that you need. Now this automatically gets nutrients, so we could probably just turn this off. Right? It needs seeds and nutrients. Because we don't have enough of this stuff in the system. Now I can just do that too. Now it doesn't matter what's over here. Let's actually set this as a provider chest or whatever it's called. Active provider. We got to make some more of these chests pretty soon here. Actually, that's probably too much. Let's kill that. We don't need that many. There we go. That's enough. So let's say this guy's just gonna provide into the storage network. So okay, it's building up. Yeah, when we get to 200, we're gonna stop. So we're doing well here, I think. Yeah, this is good. I think we fixed this one. This is a little high, but it's part of the ingredient list, so I can't really do anything about it. All right, let's do the same thing to this guy. Let's say, let's connect to the network. We want you to do this, right? This stuff. That's what you're making, right? Yeah. And we're going to say, well, look, when you're under 200, why don't you operate? All right, you're going to send an operate signal, or you're going to operate this machinery. And then you're going to send the ingredients out over here, and you're going to set the requests. And we don't need this. Just kill that. There we go. That's it. That's the whole thing. This one's done too. So eventually he's going to get some too. Now that, it should take the spoilage out. I'm not sure why it's not. This should pull the spoilage out. Oh, that's why. It's one of these. And there you go. It was set to max. Okay. There, now it'll clear this out. So what we're doing here is our system will have some spoilage. It's not going to have zero. But we're reducing the amount that it's got to operate, right? This thing is operating insane. It was just kept building and building and building and building. So it's using a lot of power. It's using a lot of resources all the time. And then when you go to request something else, like we're going to have to build rockets here eventually, the system can't keep up. You're going to have to build more trees. and it's just kind of compound on itself. And eventually, you're just going to have too many seeds because the seeds don't have anywhere to go. See, it's already happening. So we're trying to reduce the need of the system so that we don't have to produce as much items to keep it going. Then we're going to deal with the seed problem. So let me mark that off as done. Well, we have to set a lot more requester chests. I might cut that out now that you know how to do it. Again, these are solved. I think all these are solved. That's in the feedback loop. These guys are set. They're just waiting for more nutrients. So we have a nutrient sort of shortage here. Let's copy that over. I thought I already did that. Let's copy everything about this. Let's even drop in these guys. We need more nutrients. This is something I had set up before. I thought I fixed it, though. Let's set these guys as well. When nutrients are less than 500 operate, that's fine. Now we just have to connect this to here, right? And then say, why don't you set requests? Why is it not doing anything? Oh, read ingredients. There you go. And it's not going to do the fuel. So let's change this to 10. And then we're done. Actually, let's do it like this just because it looks a lot nicer. And then we'll just copy this over to the other guy. There we go. All right, so on this side, we've got to do the same thing. We've got to hook this up to there. And then we do copy that, and we copy that, and we should be done. There we go. Yep, that looks right. And this is going to keep... I mean, there's almost never a time that we're going to have 500 nutrients. It's just not going to happen that often. One of the things we can do, too, is... Now, this guy, he's just going to request all the time. Because anytime we have spoilage, we want to turn it into nutrients. This is just constant. We just let this run. Okay? Now, this guy... So we're going to start cutting down on the amount of nutrients we're using. Let's also set this guy up. And pretty soon we're going to stop setting these up because you kind of already know what we need. Let's say if this is less than 300. We don't need that many of these. 200 max? Because they're going to spoil. 100? This is 1600. We're getting way too much of this bioflux. Just filling up the supply chest, right? It's full. So we want this to spoil down to less than 100. Yeah, I think 100 is fine. I don't want stuff to spoil. So we've set that. Next thing we got to do, again, we know what we need to do is do that. We need to set this thing to set requests. And we need to kill these two things. And let's make this 10. Because, again, we don't want too much in here. We don't really need that much, right? So there we go. It's going to have 10 at all times. And we're going to trash what we don't want. Set requests. We're good. It's saying, hey, I don't need anything. I'm good. Don't give me anything, actually. Read ingredients. There we go. See, it's saying this is what's in there. That's right, because this setting, again, is output the ingredients required for the current configured recipe. So what this does right now is you should only ever have the amount for one recipe in here. Now, when it spoils, like if I take this out, it'll go get it again. See? So when it spoils, which it will, it's just going to go to get a little bit more. And then that will spoil over time if this isn't needed. Then it gets a little bit more. And it reduces the load on the system, the overall load. It's not just making bioflux till the storage things fill up, right? It's got a feedback mechanism. So this is fine. I don't mind that. Let's actually trash this stuff. I don't need that. Might need it in other systems or something like that. So there we go. So that slows down this guy's request for nutrients 24 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? And you can see it's starting to drop down. And really what it's also doing is letting this storage network not pile up, or this logistic network, with all this extra bioflux that we don't need. Okay? You can already see it's really helping the system. So let's do the next one over here. It's going to be these pentapod things or whatever they are. Let's hook this guy up, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to say pentapod egg. When it's less than, let's say 10, then start working, okay? We don't need 80 of these things. Less than 10 is probably good. In fact, less than 20 maybe, because actually these are in a couple different recipes. We'll say go ahead. And then what we'll also do is we're going to do this, right? And we're going to say read the ingredients. And then over here we're going to say set requests, which is fine. We'll do that, and we'll set this to 10. There we go. And we should be good. Oh, it's in the requirements. So this is always going to have 30. And then this will always have 1. And so this will just cycle, right? Now, this is a little bit odd because you can have a stack of these things. Well, reason you don't want 10 is because let's go look over in the storage area right here, right? It's 20 per stack, so we need more. We need more than one stack. 20 is the stack size. So we're gonna have to set this to actually like 25. We need to make sure we have 2 stacks. We don't, because since it takes pentapod eggs to make more, if the whole stack we have spoils and then this says, oh, we have 0 now, let's go make more, we don't have any pentapods to feed this thing to make more. So what will happen is if you have more than one stack, one will fail and you'll still have a full stack, or maybe the 20 fail and you have 5. You have enough to give this guy some and he should keep running. So that's kind of what I'm thinking here. So there we go. We reduced the load a little bit more. Now this guy we're just going to leave. We don't need this stuff yet. I'm trying to get really us prepared for science. Now actually I'm going to destroy this because I don't need this at all actually. That gives me a little space to run through right here. So let's set these guys up as well. So for this guy, I think all he's making, we want to make sure we make iron bacteria, right? Because this guy is cycling our bacteria, but this could run out. And if this runs out, you don't have any more bacteria to create anything with. So you have a problem. Like, let's say you don't need iron at all. You don't need any iron, right? Because, like, your iron's full. Maybe this is all full or something like that. And I need to switch all these out, too, which I'll probably do off camera. And you don't have any dudes in here. There's nothing. Then you turn this on. I'm going to say, look, when these bacteria dudes, which, again, I don't know where these are. It's been a while since I played. Oh, I see them right there. When iron bacteria is less than, I think a stack is 100, right? What is a stack? Let's see. Actually, it's not. I got to get out of this. A stack is... Where's the stack size? Stack size 200, I think it just said. Right there at the bottom. Stack size 200. So when this is less than 200, this thing needs to produce. Because that means there's less than one stack, and we could run out of iron bacteria and not be able to cycle us, okay? Like, when there's no iron need, we at least have to keep the iron bacteria going, or we run out of iron. So if it's under, it is under, so that's good. It's going to try to feed this. And I think I disabled this thing. So now we're going to say, read the ingredients, send that over. And you need to, yeah, this is turned off, see? So we're going to kill this, because we don't need that now. Set the requests. So now it's going to go out and get, you know, a little bit of that jelly so that we can make a little bit of iron. We can keep that going. We just need to make a little bit of iron here and there, okay? That way we won't run out completely. So this guy, we're going to say, this guy is going to be based on iron. That's his output. Well, it's really iron bacteria. We're going to say, look, if I need you to look at the iron ore setup here. If it's less than 500, I need you to do something. Right now it's 2,000. That's so many. We don't need that much. Now this stuff can't go bad, so it could literally just say less than 200. It'd probably be fine. When it's less than 200, start doing something. So again, we're going to connect it in this way here to this guy, and we're going to say read the ingredients. Now this guy, we're going to say, I don't care about that, but I want you to set the requests. So let's put this to 10 over here. Boom. Now we got this. The only problem is these are really small sometimes. And I don't like that. That means it's only gonna pull one thing at a time. And so when the robots bring stuff over, it's bringing one item at a time. And it's gonna be a little bit of a pain in the ass. Because this guy's gonna die now probably. It's off. It's not requesting another one. That's really strange. It's probably because this isn't turned on. So see, this guy is going to keep us in bacteria. This might not be enough. See, there's like less than 1. There's 0. Let's switch these out as well. We don't want it like that because they can't read those. We don't need these either because now they can pull from it. So let's do this. Let's make sure that can actually pull. Yeah, it's going to pull all this stuff out now. There we go. Boom. Okay. These are bad systems. I didn't set them up correctly. Yeah, I'm good. Let's make maybe 10 more of those because it looks like I might need it. Let's zoom in a little bit. I'm getting some lag. All right, so this guy is trying to... Okay, he's got 55 now because I took it all out of that guy. He was just sitting there. So now it is making bacteria, but it's not making them very fast, and this is going to be probably an issue, honestly. Because it's only requesting 6 at a time. Same for this. It's one at a time. This is not going to work. So the worry I was having with this system is that it's just not going to work fast enough. Right? It's only moving one thing at a time. How do you make this thing pull in stacks? How do you make it, say, double the export or something like that? You know what I'm saying? How do you... I was trying to turn this on with just this. Like, I don't want to send the disable command, because then when it doesn't have a gradient, it won't work. For this, I could just have this one always on. Read contents. Enable disable when this is like less than 1, is less than 10. There, now it should give me 10. So let's say I want 50 of these, I guess. I mean, 10's probably plenty, but let's say 20. And then what's the other ingredient this thing needs? Bioflux? Okay. And then, I don't know, 10 bioflux. So I've never done this. We're just going to see if it works. It's not doing it. Oh, when it's less than 10. Okay. So right now, it's got plenty. What is it doing? Why isn't it moving? Because it's disabled? So when this dies... Oh, I see. So let's say these die. This is just going to kill my bacteria off really fast. Let's do it this way. Let's check bacteria. Yeah, let's just do that. Problem is, it really needs to be set to iron, because I don't want this to run if it doesn't have iron in it. It really needs to be that. But this is just going to kill all my bacteria. So maybe I only want one at a time. That's not going to give me enough iron, though, if I'm really needing iron. Let's say if this is less than 1,000, you need to make it. Okay, for now, that's fine. So let's turn this back to the way I had it. And we'll just do that. Because it's going to kill my bacteria too fast. I don't mind if one bacteria dies one at a time. Like, no big deal. This is not going to make iron very quickly, though, so we'll have to watch that. See, the problem is, like, these guys fill up. Like, we don't need iron, so it's, like, piling up. Where's this piling up? It's piling up somewhere. Alright, well, I guess this is fine. It looks like we're going up in iron anyway. Iron bacteria, so I guess we're cool. Let's do the same thing over here. We just want to duplicate that, but I'm going to say, uh-oh, no. Turn this to copper bacteria, please. And then we want to disable this if there's a lot of... If there's copper... Oh, there's tons of copper. Okay. And then we're going to do... Yeah, that's not really that much faster. That's actually kind of a bad way to do this. Read ingredients. Read contents, set requests. There we go. Okay. That one's done. Same thing as before. We'll do the same thing over here. We're going to say if this guy is less than 200, keep going, which it is, so good. And then connect it to here. And read ingredients. Set requests. Boom. There we go. All right. Those guys are all set. Now we have the same thing down here, so why don't we copy these, right? And then we'll have to connect them. But also, we've got to change these to these guys. This is probably where all the... Oh, there it is. There's all the stuff. Now this is going to fill the things up. Here we go. That's going to fill it up pretty badly, actually. All right, read the ingredients. We're going to do set requests. We're going to kill all this. And we're going to do that to 10. That should slow everything down a lot. But it also means we're going to... Again, it's going to balance this storage network out, because this is kind of crazy. Same thing over here. Let's just copy paste. There we go. It's going to look great. Yeah, and that's all emptied out now. Yeah, this looks just like the other one. Okay. Good. I think we're good. So now we should see tons of iron right here. Yeah, there we go. See? Okay, we got to do the seed thing. Now what we're going to have to do is burn the seeds. That's the only way I've found to get rid of them on this planet, is you're going to put them... I'm going to put them in one of these heating towers. So first we got to make a heating tower, because I don't have any extra ones. heating tower is... All right, so we've got the heating tower. Let's get back over here. Because I am going to run this stuff into one of these guys. What I'm going to do is just copy this over and put it all the way at the top. There we go. Then I'm going to feed it with a requester chest. And then I'll just move this direction. Okay. So the way I'm going to do that, there's a way to do this that I found. Is first I want a buffer chest. I don't have any. Because a buffer chest cannot be pulled from. Okay. So we want that, and we're going to say, why don't you do something like this with it, and then like that. Let's actually kill this. Then we're going to say, we're going to request... Oh, I can't build that. Let's do maybe this. I don't know. There we go. Cool. We're going to say, let's request a whole bunch of seeds, right? Then we'll put it in the buffer chest. We're only going to move it if this buffer chest... So here's how this is going to work, okay? We're going to request all the extra seeds to this box. Then it's going to move some of them to the requester chest, okay? Or I'm sorry, the buffer chest. When the buffer chest has more than 10 seeds or whatever, it's going to move them over to be burned. And actually, we could do this directly, but I'll just leave this belt so we can just hook up more things if we need to burn faster, okay? One of the things we will need to do, though, is something similar to this. Let's actually do it way up here, because I don't care about that. Okay. So this is going to say, look, only do this when enable disable. And actually, this is only one kind of seed, so that's not bad. That's not good. Oh, here's how I can do it. I'll just move this. Let's get another one of these. Let's get a few. Yeah, I could do it like that. Yeah, let's do that. So this will run up here, and this guy will be right there. And then we'll move this guy up to, I don't know, let's do it over here, I guess. And then we're going to say when you're going to do this, right? So we'll say this one will do, let's hook these up. This one's going to say, look, enable disable when these red seeds are greater than 10, then I want you to burn them, okay? I only want 10 of those seeds in there at once, all right? And this guy's going to be the same thing, except the other kinds of seed, right? It's going to be this kind of seed. There. Now, this is going to hold 10 of each seed. And then when it gets to only 10 left, it'll stop. It won't do any more. So what we're going to say from over here is just put whatever you get in there. We're going to request like millions of seeds here now. 1,000. Every seed you have. Same thing for this. Every seed you've got, I want it. There we go. Okay, now the buffer is going to have 10 seeds each. So the reason this is kind of important, and there we go. That's probably better. Let's dump the seeds to Crumpet. We don't need those. Now this is burning all the seeds you can imagine, and we'll burn everything. What we need to say is, this guy requests from buffer chests, okay? He needs to be receiver. He is. He can request from buffer chests, okay? Same with this guy. There we go. Right, this guy can receive, and that's fine. These guys are going to stack up with seeds. It's fine. This guy's just going to get a few seeds, and he should not... You shouldn't use all the seeds up. They should just get 4. There we go. Okay. So that means these guys can pull from that buffer chest, okay? And actually, just to be sure that we have enough, why don't we make sure this buffer chest... let's say we actually don't want to do this unless this is greater than 20. Let's keep 2 stacks each, right? Oh, wait. No, I need a filter too. Use the filter of this. Okay? And you need to use the filter of the same thing you have. Right? You guys need to make sure you don't pull from the other guy's thing. There we go. Now, we only have 14 of these now, so we almost burned all our, well, sort of our backlog of red seeds. Oh, okay, it's burning them. Okay, there, it's good. Now we need to do the same thing over here. Right, we need to say this guy can pull from buffers. That's fine. And I think 4 is a good amount. I mean, I'd rather have this have a little bit of a buffer in here. That's okay. Same thing for the over here. We're going to copy and paste this setup here. Boom. So that he'll always have 4. And again, he's using his seeds, so now he's going to go request more. So that keeps seeds out of my system. Now I also don't have seeds in here. I just have a whole bunch of iron ore. It's going to be like that for a long time. Same thing for the bioflux. It's going to take a while for this stuff to die. Yeah, and see how it's just... I've got a bunch of spoilage in here because we have a lot. Some of it has burned off. That's good, but we still have tons more. So let's set this guy up now. These are the systems that I had turned off, right? Because I didn't have a need. So let's have this guy sit at 20, actually. We don't need more than 20. And then let's connect him to... Well, first we're going to want this. Oh, that's weird. No, it's got to be the other way around. This is a backward system. So now we're going to connect this to here and say, read ignorance. That's funny. Now I can just leave as is again because it's getting some nutrients, so it should be fine. There we go, and it's going to start making stuff. Now I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to do this so it reads from there. There's definitely... There we go, 44, so this should stop. And some of this stuff will spoil, and that's fine, but it'll turn back on when it needs to. And it's managed now. I don't have to do anything. It is going to keep pulling a little bit of this stuff, but again, it's not a huge problem, I don't think. But now I'll get more bio chambers when I need more, right? And 20 is probably good. I don't see myself needing more than that. Yeah, maybe 40, because actually if I have a big enough build, I'm going to need 40 of them. Okay, so that's set up too. Same thing down here. This is all turned off because I don't need this stuff anymore, right? I don't need plastic and stuff like that. So first what we're going to do, let's set the system up too. Again, this is probably kind of long. I might cut some of this stuff out. But for plastic, I really only need... Well, I might need 1,000. Let's say under 500 would be good probably. And then we'll hook this up to here. And we'll say read ingredients. It's starting to become pretty easy. Set the whatever. And then we'll just set this to 10. And again, we're going to have... It's going to constantly pull, but it's going to be a super small amount. It's not like it was before. Again, now we can do that and say, hey, get rid of all that. We don't care about that. Now, it's getting some nutrients. It's got to pull that out, though. It's going to slowly pull it out. I think it's probably fine leaving it this way. There we go. It's going to slowly pull that spoilage out and get rid of it. So there we go. We're making plastic because we don't have 500. Right? I want 500 in the system. Let's do the same thing over here. Right? We want sulfur. I don't know how much. Let's see how much we have. 200. Yeah, probably 200 is fine. I'm going to keep it this way. When it's less than 200, do something about it. Okay? And then I'm going to do this. Boom. It's going to take all those out. Then we're going to set this up. Turn on read ingredients. And then say, hey, you can set requests. That's cool with me. And then I do think this needs... Yeah, it needs some of this stuff. There we go. Boom. Now, other systems can use up sulfur, and it's automated now. The reason I'm doing this is, what I was noticing is, now that I want to advance to rockets, there's going to be a lot of automation going on that's not bio, right? It's like, make some more inserters that I need for this other something, right? That's going to make chipsets or whatever it's making. And then I'm going to need sulfur to make the chipsets eventually. But this is all turned off by hand. So my system is just going to sit there and not be automated. So that's what I'm kind of doing here. This system is good because it's not bio. So it's already set up to say enable, disable just by, hey, you need to have 1,000. And this, again, they don't spoil, so we're fine. Okay, so we've fixed all that. I think all of our biosystems are fixed. Now, this is a little interesting. I guess that's fine. Let's leave it because I don't want all the iron in the supply system. I think it's fine the way it is. We still have these systems working here. What I was going to do is copy this over to say, hey, can you run steel for me? And the way to do that is to say, hey, I don't want you doing that. I want you to request the same thing this guy's requesting. There we go. Okay. Because we were just running behind with steel. Steel's takes a lot longer to make. You can see, I think what we can do probably is make 4 steels, actually. How much is it allowing in here? 4? Yeah, this is 2. In fact, actually, let's let it build up with some steel here, because this stuff takes forever to make. And that's the real problem with steel. It just takes so long to make. In fact, let's change this out as well. Let's make sure this is also changed out. Let's do that. And then let's kill this. There we go. There. Alright, so we have another steel now. There, and it'll build up on steel more, because I'm using steel for more projects and stuff. Alright, so I think we're done with everything. Fixed the logistics system, fixed all the stuff. Add container builds. I did not do that. I did want to do that. I can't move? Oh, it's because I'm right in the middle of this? That's great. There we go. Iron? Oh, that's fine. It was already iron. Okay, let's dump this. Oh, yeah, you can turn that off. I don't need spoilage. I don't need spoilage. Stop giving me spoilage. I don't need that. Alright, so everything's all set up over here. We're good to go. Seeds are burning. Again, this is not for heat, so we don't really care that this thing is not burning fast enough. But what we do like... Oh, we're out of these seeds. Why? Why are we out of these? Is 20 not enough? 20 seems like enough. Oh, it's doing 10. Let's do 20 on this. That doesn't seem like enough. Maybe 40? 40 be good? Because what we want to do is we want to make sure we have enough to replant our trees when they actually kill themselves or whatever. There we go. Yeah, there's none in there right now. So that'll build up over time. That's fine. Since this is so long, I'm going to do those containers off camera. I mean, you've seen me do it before. It's not that big of a deal. When we come back, we're going to do a rush to rockets to get off this planet, because I need to go set up that tungsten build, the massive tungsten build, and I'd rather be there to do it. I could probably do it remotely, but I'd rather be there. But now that I've stabilized this system, I can go back to moving systems on Novice. It's been so long since I played this. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments section. Hope you like this. Hit the like button. Consider sticking around. I will see you on the next one. Stay frosty.